Not only did I not know that this was coming out until a few days ago, but I somehow missed all 3 EPs that preceded it. That just goes to show you how off the radar some people are to me. What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for my thoughts on the sophomore album by Bea Miller, a former X Factor contestant in the United States. This album is called Aurora. Her album, Not an Apology, was reviewed by yours truly in 2015, and I couldn't for the life of me really remember the majority of it. I said that I wouldn't remember it in my review, and here we are, a couple of years later. But fortunately at this point, I think she's matured a lot, and I think the songwriting and the song structures in general are better. When I reviewed Not an Apology, there were songs that showed strong signs of life, that she could do something more. And on this new record, she's gone a little bit darker, and I think that there's this thing that a lot of these artists who get notoriety as kids, they tend to want to shape that image of their early stuff. So they try and get a little bit more out there. I think we've seen that from a lot of the Disney stars like Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus, and not that she was ever that level of success or in the spotlight, but here it does feel like she's pushing back and away from that sound a little bit. It's not done in such an intrusive way that I feel like it's just like, oh my god, stop, we get it, you're an adult now, she's 19 years old. It's not done in that way, it's just that some of the tracks, there's more language, there's more sexual descriptions, and I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem whatsoever. Just know that if you were looking for something maybe PG, family-friendly, clean, like your old Jake Paul, this isn't it. How does this record sound? I would describe it as perhaps a blend of electronics, a little bit of power pop in there as well, some more traditional pop, but rooted in instrumentation. And that's what I do like about a lot of these songs, is the fact that you're gonna hear guitars in the mix. You're gonna hear some real bass instead of everything just feeling so fake and so programmed. And I think that's what makes her stand out a little bit from other pop contemporaries. And there's a lot of good songs on this LP that I'm finding myself drawn to. One of those is the big bombastic tune, which is track number 3, Motherlove. This one is something where I feel like there's a lot of anger and fire coming off of Bea Miller on this track, and that's not a bad thing whatsoever. The girl could sing the hell out of the chorus on that thing, and the build is quick. It's like not playing games. It gets straight into it, and once it does, you're hooked. I'm not sure if I was supposed to find the track Buy Me Diamonds kind of funny, but I do, because it seems like she's being kind of playful and what she wants out of a guy or a relationship or something like that, talking about instead of just doing these things, let's just get to the whole you buying me expensive stuff. I had fun with that track. I think that track number 9, which is called Bored, is another fantastic moment here that has a dark wave that just kind of sweeps over it. You're coming out of Girlfriend, which is kind of a track to me, but then you get into Bored and this new sensation hits you. And it seems like she's talking about being a booty call or just having a casual affair with someone, and she's getting tired of that. It's like, okay, you come over, you hit it, you quit it, you're out, and you're just getting dressed and you're on the way out again. And she talks about it being great in a way, but at the same time, she doesn't know what she wants. And I love hearing about those conflicted feelings, especially when the music to back it up is so strong. I'm feeling a little bit clickbaited by the track S.L.U.T, aka Slut. That one right there is something where I thought that it was going to be something else entirely, but it is not that. Instead, it sounds like a Meghan Trainor knockoff. And if you know anything about me and Meghan Trainor, that track right there is getting the finger, because I thought Meghan Trainor wasn't going to come back for at least another year, yet through this song, she has. Slut here does not mean slut. It stands for sweet little unforgettable thing, and it has an okay kind of drop into the chorus. That's really the main and only thing that I could say I really like about this track. Other than that, it feels like predictability and trend hopping in a way for a trend that kind of died out like 2 years ago when Meghan Trainor just burned it into the ground. One of the main complaints I have with this album, Aurora, is the fact that many of the styles feel borrowed from other people. I just talked about S.L.U.T and that being borrowed from Meghan Trainor, I felt like. I feel like a lot of these songs, I can't always quite put the finger on it like who it sounds like, but it's just too much like other contemporaries, and one of those is the track Like That. It was pretty successful in terms of its single performance, but I can't say that I'm particularly drawn to it. I don't find it to be that strong. It kind of has a buzzing electronic background to it, some synthesizers on the track as well, some programmed drums. It doesn't sound all that bad, it just feels more generic than anything else, and I feel that way about a handful of these songs. The only other song I'll mention in terms of songs sounding like each other, the intro to Repercussions sounds oddly similar to IDGAF by Dua Lipa, and I love the original track that I just mentioned, IDGAF, but this one, not as big of a fan. Song Like You opens the album up on a kind of playful yet somehow dark in a sense way, which I like, and I think that the album does start off stronger than it closes. The last 3 tracks on this record I find to be kind of repetitive and forgettable, at least in my opinion, and the featured guests here are not really all that needed, and I'm not exactly sure why they are here on these tracks because they don't really add much, but the album does start off strong enough. We already get that track that I mentioned, and then we get to Mother Love, and then the ballad I Can't Breathe, where I feel like Miller really comes into her own. She takes on a different side of herself, and it actually feels like not cheesy, like I maybe expected it would. I heard it the first time, and I liked her soaring vocals on this, the piano, and just the bare bones feel. It stands out on this album in a very good way. I don't think Aurora is going to be one of those albums that you're just buzzing about for months on end, like you can't stop talking about it to your friends, but at the same time, it's probably going to be a lot better than a lot of the pop music that you will hear in 2018. It's a lot better than some of the other alternatives that you have. So if you're really into pop, check it out. If you're not, then it might not be for you. I would say this is for fans of like pop rock, a little bit electronic as well. Then for me personally, I'm going to go with a 3 out of 5. A strong 3 at that for this new album, Aurora by Bea Miller. What do you guys think of the album? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please drop a like while you're here and subscribe if you are brand new to the channel. If you would like to support me on Patreon, it's this annotation in the corner of the screen. If you want to see my last Bea Miller review, tap right here, or another recent pop review right over here. Socials are found in the description down below, and I'll see you soon on ARTV.